How's it going, everybody? My name is Liam. Today, I'm gonna be doing something that I've actually never done before on this channel. I'm gonna be doing some wild camping. I just am in a forest, I'm setting up a tent, and we're gonna have a good time out here. We're right here on a beautiful creek, and we're gonna have a great Creekside camp. Joining me, I got my friend Kieran here.
What's up, guys?
And we're gonna be doing this together. It's our first time kind of doing a more wild camp, but I've really been wanting to try it. This forest is really close, so I figured I've been coming to this forest for years. How have I not camped in it? So today's the day, we're doing it. It's beautiful back here, man. The sun is setting, we came out pretty late, but it is what it is. Creek, stunning, tons of camping spots around here. We're just gonna find what I think looks best and something that's not too far from the water. This tree right here, one of the biggest trees I've ever seen. So this is a white oak tree, and I bet you this tree is over 200 years old. So it's hard to tell on camera, but for reference, here I am next to this tree. It is massive. I actually should bring like a tape measure back here, see what the diameter is, because it is actually one of the widest trees I've ever seen, and it's crazy to think that it's right here in what feels like my own forest. All right, we found a really good spot, nice and flat right here, beautiful within the forest, got tons of old growth trees around here, and the creek is just a 30-foot walk from here, so we got everything we need. All right, you want to grab the other side? We'll lay it down. So I'm gonna take this one out. Nice and easy to the ground. There you go. Okay, check this out. Okay, you good? Yep. Tuck it in there. Tent's coming along nicely. We're gonna throw the rain fly on, and then we're gonna set up our systems inside the tent. Then we can start cooking dinner and settling down. Tent set up. It looks beautiful. This is our surroundings. It's a beautiful evening in the forest. Creek's right over there, and we're gonna go grab some rocks to make a fire. We found a tarp here in the forest, so we used the tarp to pick up all the rocks. So there wasn't a lot. Surprisingly, this forest actually barely has any rocks, so all the rocks we found were right on the creek. But we got them, and we're gonna use them. Okay, let's make a circle. So it's a pretty small fire, but it's all we need.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh? Looks pretty good to me. So we're gonna break our wood up and do a pretty small fire because I don't wanna obviously do anything to the forest. That would be really bad. So we're just gonna keep it at this. Yeah, now I'm gonna grab a couple leaves, some dry ones. That can be like our fire starter. Since I didn't actually bring any fire starter, so hopefully this just works. All right, let's give this a try. Okay. All right, the fire's going now, which is great. And I'm gonna put my sleeping bag together before it's too dark outside, because I've set up in the dark before and it's not very fun. So I'd rather be all ready now. All right, I got my camp pillow here. I haven't used this thing in a long time, but when you're packing and you don't have a vehicle, this is the way to go when you're hiking in. All right, that's everything. I didn't bring as much as I normally do. We're gonna be cooking up a nice dinner here on the propane stove, and we got a really great camping meal set up here. We went to the grocery store, we got some really good stuff, and we're gonna be cooking it right here at our campsite. So, first off, I'm gonna take a stove, screw it onto the propane. Now we just have to be extremely careful with using this because I'm gonna be cooking food off of it. For dinner tonight, we're gonna be doing some chicken quesadillas. Inside the quesadillas, we're gonna be putting in some we got chicken thighs, that's what we decided to pick out. We got some mushrooms, we got kale. It's a basic meal, but I think it's gonna be really good. This is technically my first time cooking in like a wild forest situation, so I didn't want to do something too complicated, of course.
Hunters. That's not fireworks.
I think it's fireworks. That doesn't sound like guns. Guns don't go off that much. They just take one shot and done.
Oh, it's fireworks. You're getting the cake after.
Good. The last thing I want to hear. Last thing I want to hear is a freaking gunshot while I'm out in the middle of a forest. Okay. All right. We're throwing just the skin on first.
Wait.
It's skinned super quick. Now there we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right here, we got some beautiful chicken thigh. Oh, don't imagine I just dropped the first piece. Okay, we'll get those first two done. Oh, that's so nice. Ooh, that looks all right. Next round. Oh, man.
Come on. All right.
Sweet. Okay, we got Kieran right here. He's gonna be cooking us up the mushrooms. And I think I'm gonna cut up the kale right now. I'm gonna try and cut this without getting in the dirt. Yeah, we're gonna be eating some dirt, but it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Well, you know what I could do? Whatever I cut, I'll just throw right in the back. I'll throw back in the bag, and then we'll just reach our hand in and grab whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. Yeah, we're eating a little bit of dirt. Oh well. The mushrooms are done, so I'm just cutting up this kale, and then we're ready to go. You gotta come up with alternatives when you don't come fully prepared. All right, I got my tortillas right here. So what we're gonna do is we're not fully prepared. I'm not an expert, but I do consider myself better than an amateur. We got my this right here, and we're just gonna. My idea was grab kale, just cut it up, and then put it back in the bag. So grab a bunch, and then I'm gonna take some chicken. Right here. We each get 2 large pieces, so I'm just gonna go and grab my piece. We'll do two quesadillas. So this is the first one. I think it's gonna end up more like a taco. I don't think we can wrap them.
That's fine.
I love mushrooms, man. What a random combination now that I think of it. Okay, so this quesadillas turned more into a taco, which isn't the end of the world. We have basil leaves. Is that over there? The basil leaf stuff? Basil leaves. Okay, so here's the finished product. For our quesadilla, we've got a beautiful chicken, basil leaves, kale, and mushroom. Let's give it all a big bite now. Right here we got some pink lemonade that I put in the water bottle. Yeah, it's an interesting mix of flavors. Let me get a mushroom. The mushroom's great. We're gonna eat up now. We'll check up on y'all in a little bit. Until then, we're gonna enjoy this great meal. We just put the fire out. It is a beautiful night. There's the smoke and there's the moon. Beautiful night. Our tent's right there. We're gonna hop in. Pitch black out here. The moon's keeping it nice and shiny though, and I can actually see pretty decently. Tent's right here. Kieran's already in. We're gonna hop in now. And then right over here, we just put the fire out. Gotta make sure that that thing's safe and sound. Don't wanna leave a wildfire out overnight, of course. Gonna leave my chair out here, leaving our food outside, of course. And that's it. Beautiful wild night. There we are. We got some food. Let's hop in. We're in, and I'm gonna close it all for the night. Close this thing up. And that's it. We'll be back again bright and early. You hear that? Coyotes just got something. That's why they're howling like that. Oh my God. All right, get in nice and cozy. All right, we got to get super cozy tonight. It is going to be a cold one. All right, we're in the middle of a random wild forest in a tent. It's about 11 at night. We're going to hit the hay. Hopefully we sleep well. The temperature right now is about 8 degrees Celsius. Tonight, it's going to be going down to 0. So it is going to be cold, and I'm not particularly looking forward to it because this is about the least prepared I've ever been for cold weather, so hopefully it doesn't hit me that hard. But unless anything happens overnight, we'll see you all in the morning. Morning, everybody. That was my first time doing like a wild camp, and I actually slept well, surprisingly. I woke up a couple times, but overall I wasn't cold, which was what I was worried about. Stayed warm, stayed cozy, and I woke up, my sleeping bag was upside down, and my pillow was on top of me, so I think I slept well. Look at that. The second I open the tent, the sun comes out. Oh, it's a little chilly, but let's see how it is outside. All right. Fire went out nicely, luckily. It did actually go back on. We had to dump water on it again, so that way the fire wouldn't start up. But all is good now. Beautiful morning. It's about 8 degrees right now. And I'm gonna grab my chair and we're gonna go sit by the water. My phone is dead. I'm on Kieran's phone filming the rest of this video because the show must go on. For breakfast, I got myself a granola bar here and a couple pepperettes. All right. Oh, broken half, but here we go, granola bar. The cold made it like half frozen. I'm gonna grab me a pepperette here.
Okay, let's give this a try. Okay. Luckily, the cold didn't freeze them, so they're still good. Beautiful. They're nice and cold thanks to it being cold last night.
There's something special here I wanted to mention. So if you look over there, you'll see a big grove of some green looking plants. So I wanted to show you and kind of just quickly talk about them because they're really cool. And I learned about them a couple months ago and how to identify them and stuff. Now is the time of the year that you can find them. Here they are. So these are called May apples. And what's cool about May apples is they actually grow a fruit. So not all of them, pretty rare to actually find a fruit on them, but in a grove like this of 200 plants, I can guarantee you we're gonna find a couple of these May apples that are fruiting. So the fruit itself is called May apple. It's described as like a starburst taste, so it's like super sweet. And I've never had one before. So my goal is to find a May apple grove with growing fruits, and then come back late August, early September this year and harvest a bunch of them. What I'm gonna do is basically just kind of check under each May apple leaf until you find one with the fruit. So second one, I already found one. So right there, you'll see this little green spot. That right there is gonna become a May apple fruit. Now in this big grove, there's not gonna be too many, but we can look around and kind of learn. Most of them don't, but there's always one that does. Okay, I found another. So they're very small right now. They're just kind of little green specks. But right there, this little green thing right there is gonna turn into a May apple fruit. We'll come back later in the year and we're gonna harvest it. That'll be really cool. I'm gonna harvest a bunch of them and give them a try. Bring some for family, get some for friends. Whatever I can get my hands on. I do have to get out here before the animals come and take them. Gotta time it right when you go and get them though, because if you don't time it right, they'll make you sick. So you gotta be careful. But they're totally edible. They taste really good. They're a cute little yellow fruit and they're really cool. When I learned about them, I knew I wanted to go find some. So in my own forest near my house, tons of May apple groves to go and explore. Got my cameraman handy to teach a quick lesson. This right here is called a white ash tree. And what sucks about white ash trees is they all get this disease called emerald ash borer. And it's basically this beetle from Asia that is an invasive species and likes the ash trees. So if you look around, you'll see tons and tons of holes where you can just easily tear off bark. There's another spot right here. I was just playing with it. Right here. And so it carved into these holes right here. And then when you look up at the tree, they're always dead. So it's a bummer. They're really beautiful trees, but they're getting killed off, and finding an ash tree is pretty rare nowadays. We're gonna be starting to pack up my sleep system. This is super easy. All I have to do is deflate my pillow, pack my sleeping bag, and fold up my pad because that's all I brought. I just showed Kieran the sleeping bag trick where you just kind of stuff it all in there because it's way easier and efficient than taking the time to fold it up neatly and try and fit it in there when you can just, if you can stuff it, you should just do that instead. Oh! All I have to do is pack my backpack up now, take down the tent, and we're pretty much out. Okay, grab an end. Now hold it up, bring the two together. We're done with the tent. Looks like we were never here. We're gonna kick some leaves into the area to show that we definitely were not here. And then this log, we moved this log here, so we're just gonna kind of move it out of the way so that way there's no evidence. And then with the fire pit here, we're gonna do our best to clean that up so that it shows that a fire wasn't done there. So let's move this log. 3, 2, 1, up. Now we're gonna kick some leaves, clean up the fire, finish packing up our stuff, and we're gonna be good. I can't believe how fast this went by. Been looking forward to this one all week. We were talking about how we need to come back to this forest sometime. I've been coming to this forest since I was like 14 years old, just exploring. There's fields, there's like an abandoned house, there's an abandoned barn. There's this forest here with some really old trees. So it's a really fun place to explore, and I've been doing it for years. And I've always thought it'd be cool if I camped back here. So I finally said, in the warm weather, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna do it. Weather's warm and it's green again, which means I came back and I did it. And I'm really happy that we came out and did it. It was a lot of fun. Where I'm standing right here, this is where the fire was. We completely covered it up. You would never know unless you unravel all the leaves again. So our trace here's gone. The tent's all cleared up. We put the logs back, we put everything back, and we're ready to go. So we're just gonna finish packing up our backpacks, and then we'll say goodbye to this beautiful spot. I'm gonna throw on this backpack now. Whew. It's getting warm outside now, which is nice. And got my backpack on, and let's make our way out. Officially out of the forest, back into the fields. We're heading back home now. It's literally only a 5-minute walk from where we are right now. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, because it was really fun doing my first legitimate wild camp. Thanks a lot, Kieran, for joining me today.
Thanks for having me come along.
Forest is behind me now, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and of course subscribe. We're 100 subscribers away from 1,000. We're on the road to monetization right now. I'm really looking forward to getting to that point. Don't forget to stay in the great outdoors so you find beautiful spots like we did today. And as always, see you all later.